Special meeting of the Cameron County Commissioners Court. As we do all meetings, we'll stand. I don't see anybody here doing invocation. Stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the U.S. flag and the Texas flag. And I'm going to ask Laura, who rarely visits us, to lead us in the pledges to the U.S. and Texas flag. But for now, let's stand for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Do I hear a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Tamayo, second by Commissioner Gatsa. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carried. To discuss the following two items: confer with legal counsel concerning Frank A. Tompkins individually and as trustee, and Carolyn Tompkins Young versus County of Cameron, Texas. Bharat R. Patel, Affiliated Management Systems Limited, and Affiliated Hospitality, LLC. Cause number 2009-10-5624-A. For discussion of status of case pursuant to Code Section 551.071, 1A and 2. Item B, consultation with attorney concerning pending litigation in Cameron County Attorney versus Richard Burst and others. Cause number 2009-12-6895-H. in the 444th District Court of Cameron County, Texas, pursuant to Code Section 551.071 and Section 551.129. We should be back in about 15-20 minutes at the most. Moved by Commissioner Gatsa. Do I have a second to come out of executive session by Commissioner Benavides? Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Item A, confer with Commissioners Court Legal Counsel concerning Tompkins. Do I hear a motion to acknowledge report of counsel and proceed along the terms and conditions by Commissioner Wood, second by Commissioner Tamayo? Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Item B, consult with attorney concerning pending litigation in Cameron County Attorney versus Richard Burst and others. Do I hear a motion to acknowledge report of counsel and proceed along the terms and conditions as discussed? So moved. By Commissioner Woods and by Commissioner Gatsa. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Public comment? Consent items, item 4A through 4J. Does any member of the court wish to take any item out and discuss separately? D. Item D. It's just a question. To take out. 14. Item E. I'm going to take out item E just for an abstention. Anything else? D and E so far. Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve consent items with the exception of items D and E that will be discussed separately by Commissioner Tamayo, second by Commissioner Gatsa? No further discussion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Item D, consideration approval of redistricting legal services agreement with Rolando L. Rios and Associates. Commissioner Gatsa?
Yes. On that particular contract, do we have any? Excuse me. On that particular contract, do we have in that scope or that task attachments, I couldn't find any indication of if we needed any defense work in dealing with the proposed plan with the Department of Justice, whether or not that would be included in the task or scope of that. Because as you recall 10 years, well, as some of us might recall 10 years ago, we had some issues with the numbers, and we proceeded with bringing to task, the Census Bureau in regards to the results. Right. And we had then, at that time, to hire the same individual and pay a little more money to do this and to do that and to do all these things. Would it not be a good idea to include some language in those tasks?
Yes, Commissioner.
To cover that?
In his initial proposal, he had a task that outlined additional work that could come about if some things like that came up, but we chose to take it out of there, out of this proposal. We can add it. I mean, he's not going to get paid, or he's not going to charge for that task unless there's any work that is done. But he did have that in there, and we took it out.
Yeah, I saw that on the previous contract,
Yes,
the
sir.
original, and then on the new one, that was not included. So I don't know what the wishes of the court is. I just wanted to make sure that,
It's not gonna help or hurt us in any way as far as, it'll be part of the contract, and if he does the work, then he'll get paid for it.
so then if we adopt it as is, it shouldn't be any problem.
Right.
Would you feel more comfortable with
I just-
clarification?
No, I just want to make sure that we know that if we require, or if we need to defend it, or if we need to do something,
We
that it's
can
going
come
to
back-
cost us more.
We can come back to amend it.
How's
amend
that?
this- We can come back to amend this contract and
I
add
think
that
it'd be best to
provision.
make sure that we clarify that.
Okay,
So should we approve it as is and then amend it?
yes.
Okay.
Or
The
subject to
other,
amendment?
we can approve subject to bringing back.
Okay.
Well, the other issue too, I think Marta's probably going to address the funding source for this. You may.
And I was gonna pull this item out so that we can address the funding issues.
The
on
funding
this
source, give us a total, the contract estimate, and where you propose to at least to get what pertains to this fiscal year.
According to the tasks, the way they're outlined in the contract, we're probably looking at about 40,000 for this fiscal year. The remainder of the contract, we can budget in the next fiscal year, in fiscal year 2011. But the only place that we have for funding right now is basically to pull the funds needed from lapsed fringe.
Well, we
right
committed,
now.
when we committed a few weeks ago to sweep the lapse into the account to help offset the costs of the trial, of the
That's-
Rubio trial, is this a separate item? Because we were sweeping everything.
We were sweeping lapsed salaries only, not
Okay,
not the
okay.
related fringe. And I have a $38,000 bill right now that has not been paid for the legal on the Rubio case. for
Okay,
the
so then
DAs.
the fringe is estimated to be how much per month?
We haven't looked at that, but I know we
You
have
feel
at least.
comfortable that
we
it'll be
have at
enough to
least-
cover?
Yeah, 40,000 in there for this year.
Okay. When, this is a little bit on the side, but when do you anticipate coming to us with a 6-month interim financial review? Because March
should
is our
be-
6 months, or May?
We should be ready for that by the end of April.
Okay, so we want to make sure you get with Pete, schedule it for our first,
The workshop?
workshop. I'm going to be gone the first week in May, I think 3rd or 4th, for a conference. So we can do it either before that or as soon as I get back. And then start working on the budget, probably to start our first budget workshop. Shortly thereafter, we have our 6-month review, so latter part of May, we can start. Okay?
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Do I hear a motion to approve the contract?
Subject to amendment.
Or can we just approve it, including? Okay, because the task was included in the original one, right?
Yes, sir.
Can we just, well, we don't have the original.
No,
Okay.
we don't have the original.
Okay, subject to the amendment.
Okay.
Second.
Well, moved by Commissioner Gatsa, second by Commissioner Tamayo. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, item carries. Item E, consideration approval of retaining Benigno Trey Martinez III to represent Cameron County and Frank A. Tompkins individually and as a trustee, and Carolyn Tompkins Young versus Cameron County, Texas. Barrett R. Patel, Affiliated Management Systems Limited, Affiliate Hospitality LLC, cause number 209-10-5624-A. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
By Commissioner Gatsa, second by Commissioner Wood. Discussion, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, item carries. Please note my abstention on that item. One of the lawyers that will be participating in that is Horacio Barrera, who is a campaign manager of mine. Okay. Item 5A, budget amendments, line item transfers, enter salary schedules.
Judge, Commissioners, the budget amendments are pretty minimal. You've got 1.5 page, well, actually 1 page. M&O Jail, Commissioners Precinct 1, Juvenile Vocational Funds, moving 12,000 from contractual to communications. Free Trade Bridge and Gateway Bridge are both increasing travel line items, as well as Free Trade increasing equipment maintenance, and the county airport, we're moving 10,000 from contractual to equipment for your approval.
You recommend their approval?
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Gatsa, second by Commissioner Tamayo. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Item B, approval of county claims.
We have a manual payroll for $2,019.24 on time that was not paid out for the jail department. We also have warrants number 236134 through 236291. ACH payments to TAC for health benefits, $89,365.57. And I would also like to read in a claim to Vincent and Elkins for $19,000. That is a transcript fee to the Attorney General's office for the RMA bond transaction, which will probably be needed later this week for your
Any
approval.
questions on claims? Recommend their approval?
Excuse me, I have warrant number 236166, which is voided. Yes.
Do I hear a motion to approve claims?
Second.
By Commissioner Wood, second by Commissioner Benavides. Any discussion? Please note my abstention on the affidavits I'll provide to you. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Item C, consideration and possible approval to advertise for position number 100-4100-6002, Senior Legal Counsel for Cameron County Commissioners Court. That
Judge,
is,
Commissioners, yeah, we passed out a draft notice. We attached the job description. Just needed some direction from the court if we want to limit our advertising here locally, or if you all want to consider advertising in different markets throughout the state.
well, let me, before we do that, on the education experience, what I would like to add would be, unless you all don't want to do this, but I think it's important that we do, we put a minimum, unless it's somewhere else in the contract I didn't see, a minimum years of experience and license to practice in Texas, Supreme Court, et cetera. And I think on the amendment, you know, Richard, how many years did you have? I'm just, when you started in experience?
Oh, 20, 25, I don't
Loaded
remember.
question.
Okay. 20 or 20, okay, I don't want to go 20, 25, but I think we need to have a minimum of 10 years in that type of experience, whether it's, you know, governmental, counties, cities, municipal, whatever.
Judge, you're going to pretty much, if you go 10 years for municipal experience, I don't know that there's a lot of attorneys out there that have that. I think you're really limited in the field.
Well, but if you don't put anything, that you're going to have first-year lawyer, you're going to have
Well,
50
you could have,
applications.
you know, 2 years, might, 2 years or 5 years would probably accomplish the same,
5 years, maybe.
yeah.
Okay, you want to put minimum 5 years? Why don't we compromise at 7?
7?
Yeah.
It's got to be more than 5.
Yeah, I mean,
5 is enough.
you know, you know what?
If that wasn't the question you asked me how much, you know, as an attorney, I had, when I took this job, I had worked as on a, I'd represented my hometown.
It's
on
okay,
the-
Richard. I don't
for
need to
what-
hear.
Well, yes,
We
but what
don't
I'm
care
telling
about
you,
Oklahoma.
I didn't have that kind of, I had 11 years experience representing my hometown, but you're not going to find a lot of people that have that.
Yeah,
We found you.
But experience in Oklahoma doesn't count in Texas, okay?
Then I had
I think we
zero.
need to make sure that it's in Texas.
Yeah, there is no
We don't want
reciprocity
any more
here.
Sooners around here.
I had none.
Yeah, 7 years is good. I mean, if we can't, I mean, then we just tailor it down. We'll see, but
Can we say also that it be in the state of Texas?
if you want to, that's fine. I mean, I've got no problem with that.
You could just exclude the Sooners.
No, that would be discriminatory, and we don't discriminate.
No, we can't say it has to be a
Okay, so let's
Longhorn.
add minimum years experience in related fields, 7 years, license to practice in Texas, in front of all these courts and stuff. Anything else that y'all would like to add?
Yeah, under the job description, under special requirements, have in there the candidates must possess a certificate of admission to the bar of the Supreme Court of Texas, and a certificate of admission to the U.S. District Court for the
Right.
Southern District of Texas.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The ability to bench press 250 pounds? No? All right. Okay, anything else?
So do y'all just want to advertise
Oh,
here locally, or?
You know, I think if we keep it, let's say, to maybe the San Antonio Express, Houston Chronicle, Dallas Morning,
Why do you
Fort
want to
Worth.
go there?
I mean, I just don't know. You want to just do it in the Brownsville Herald?
I would, if you're going to do out of the valley, I would do either San Antonio or Austin, maybe Austin.
Yeah.
Austin, maybe.
Or just keep it within the major Texas cities.
Because that gets expensive.
Yeah.
Is there some way to go through the Texas Bar Journal, or?
I'll ask
Some
Jim
publication
Allison, maybe through Urban County newsletter or something as well. And maybe TML, and that might be free, I'm not sure. But we'll check into that.
Well, the thing is, we don't have a whole lot of time. We've got less than 60 days.
So the quicker we can get it out, the better. And if it can go through those channels, that might get it out a lot.
We'll try to do that.
The bar is usually a good way to go.
Yeah, I was going to say the Texas Bar Association has a newsletter.
Okay.
Email blast, whatever they do.
Okay, all right.
Urban Counties has lots of good emails that go out to everybody.
We'll do that.
Okay, anything else? No? Okay, do I hear a motion to advertise for the position with the modifications to the job description and job requirements?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner
Second.
Wood, second by Commissioner Gatz. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Item D, consideration and authorization of amendment to ground lease agreement, contract number 2009 CO 3125 with Affiliated Hospitality LLC to extend the interim construction period for Hilton Garden Inn at Andy Bowie Park.
Yes, Judge, Commissioners, we had a request from the concessionaire to extend the construction period. We visited the site, and they're about 85% complete. They're hoping to complete the project by August 31st, and the delay was, of course, weather.
What's your recommendation, Javier?
I recommend to extend it.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatsa, second by Commissioner Tamayo. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Item E, consideration authorization to approve dune protection permit and beachfront construction certificate to Holland Dual to construct a single-family residence on Lot 11, Block 3 of Hanshaw subdivision.
Judge, Commissioners, all this, everything in, on this application, or this permit is in place. They, we received a letter from the General Land Office with no comments. It's a single-family residence, about 1,000 square foot, and they're just going to build that house on Pierce and a Caliche Drive.
You recommend it?
Yes, sir.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion for approval.
By Commissioner Tamayo, sent by Commissioner Benavides. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Item F, consideration and authorization for professional services from Alfredo Padilla, attorney at law. Did we ever get that contract signed?
No, Judge, we did not. We'll ask that you table that.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to
Motion to
table by
table.
Commissioner Tamayo? Second. Second by Commissioner Benavides. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Item G, consideration authorization for professional services from Benigno Trey Martinez, P.C. That one is signed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and this one has nothing to do with the other one that I abstained on. This is just strictly for Trey, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Benavides and by Commissioner Tamayo. Any discussion? All
Was
those
this for a well, it's for one case, right?
That's correct. The
One-
Salas.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Item H, consideration authorization for professional services from Rene Gonzalez, attorney at law, a licensed attorney in the state of Texas, to act as a contracted attorney on behalf of the Cameron County DA's office. This one is signed?
It is.
Is this one going to replace the existing contract that you all have with him as a, what, special prosecutor, or is he something?
No, this is a special prosecutor one. We do not have a contract with him at this time.
Okay, what was he doing prior to that?
He was an employee of the DA's office, and then he recently retired.
Okay. Okay, all right. Well, let me go back to Padilla, then that's one I'm thinking about.
Right.
will that, when that contract gets approved or you come back with it signed, is that replacing
No,
him?
the Commissioners Court asked us to be more specific in the high-profile cases, what we call high-profile
Yeah,
cases.
but I guess my question is, is he going to have two contracts? One of them is a monthly retainer of X?
That's correct.
And then going to be this one, so he's going to have two contracts running concurrently?
That's correct.
Okay. Is that all right?
They won't conflict with each other. In the general contract, it says that there will be an agreement on a case-by-case basis for certain cases, and that's essentially what we're doing, is amending his contract to include those specific cases which prove to be either extremely difficult or labor-intensive.
Okay, so when you're saying you're amending the contract, does that mean that the contract you're amending is, how many contracts are we going to have with them?
Two.
Or
Two.
You have two, so
Right.
are you amending the contract, or is this a whole new contract altogether?
We are essentially amending the contract.
To
but
include this other stuff?
To include
So then,
this other
are you going to have two contracts?
Right.
Or one?
We're going to have two.
So it's not an amendment?
So it's not an amendment?
not an
It's a
amendment.
new contract, isn't it?
Well, it's essentially a new contract because we are negotiating a new deal with him, but he is still on the old contract when he does the general stuff for the DA's office, when he takes on the daily work that we ask him to do.
Okay, so I guess my question is, are
This-
we
this-
amending
this
that
is-
original contract, or is this a separate contract?
It's called a specific performance contract.
Okay.
It is considered an amendment because we are adding to his previous contract, but it does not cancel out any part of his first contract.
No, that's what I'm asking. Because there's language in this, that's the reason I'm asking, because in reading the contract, there's language regarding superseding any prior agreements.
Page 2, last paragraph.
And that's why I was asking. You know what, I know we're tabling that item, but
Sure.
you may want to come back and just,
Yeah.
I understand that, and the key words in there are respecting within the subject matter. And since we spell out the subject matter in the upper paragraph's purpose of representation, that's what this would apply to.
okay. All right, y'all are, Rich, you're okay with this, guys, over there?
Well, this is a new discussion on the two contracts. You know, it's not on the agenda yet. It'll be presented, I guess, at a later date, but I would suggest, might want to look at just calling it an amendment, amending the existing contract to include whatever you want to do, you know.
If you're willing to approve that, we could amend his previous contract. 'cause
Yeah,
it is
because I
signed
think,
and-
because I think we've got a substance over form here, and I think what you're saying, it's an amended contract, yet there's. It's
a new one.
That we're doing two contracts. So just,
Right.
you know, why don't y'all just get together and kind of iron that out?
Sure.
Okay, just so there's no, even though we table it, but it's okay, just so we don't have to do that again. Okay, on Rene Gonzalez, do I hear a motion to approve that contract?
I have a question.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Wood.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gatsa. Discussion?
Okay. His purpose in what he's going to be doing, can you give me a little bit of background on that?
Sure. He is an appellate attorney. He was our top appellate attorney, and he has several cases that are still pending in the Court of Appeals, the Criminal Court of Appeals. And so we wanted to get him to agree to follow those out. So basically, it is a yearly contract that we're going to ask that he follow the cases that he's working on now. We do have we do have another employee, L.J. Rabb, who is, and Lane, who is working on the new appeals that are coming up. So he's just essentially going to follow these out. His
And how
ones
many
that
are they?
I believe there's about 10.
Well, and then he could be assigned others too.
Well, yeah, he
According
could
to
be.
the contract.
Difficult ones, yeah. But LJ and Lane will be handling the majority of them. Rene Gonzalez has a particular expertise that's hard to find, just like Mr. Burst is. A replacement for Mr. Burst is going to be hard to find.
It's not that hard. But okay. All right, thank
I
you.
guarantee you're going to have lots of applications.
Oh, yeah. Any other questions? No, do I hear, we already had a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, item carries. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
By Commissioner Benavides, do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Tamayo. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, item carries. God save this honorable court.
We need to do more 8 o'clock meetings. We're out of here early.
You know what, I'm going to do that.
How are you?
Of course, it doesn't allow